Welcome back to another video, everyone. My name is Rachel with LoCasa, and today we're going to be doing something that is always highly requested, which is an in-depth deal review. And on our website, what we usually have is just a ton of properties just listed. Right now, we have about 109 available. I have exclusive membership views, so if you're somebody that's a standard user, you may see a fourth of these, only because all properties are available to our members, which you guys can learn more about that on our website. I will digress. But one of the properties that has been really hot and popular is a property in Seattle. If you guys know anything about Seattle and Airbnb regulations, they can be pretty strict, okay? There's a few different nuances to them, and one of the things that is absolutely required, even if you are an arbitrage host, even if you do have the lease signed and the owner's going to let you sublease, you still have to obtain a permit, but not you, the owner. The owner has to be the one to obtain the permit. They have to be okay with going out and obtaining that permit and renewing it when the time comes. So that's another kind of hoop you have to jump through. You can't just go out and get it yourself. You actually have to be the owner. So this specific one is in Seattle. I'm just going to do a quick run through because one of the other things that's important to note is when people are on our website, they don't see the actual address. We act as a broker. We act as an acquisition company. So what happens is we give you all the information that you could possibly need to move forward with the deal. But if you do want to move forward, you have to pay part of that acquisition fee in order to see the full address, which maybe I'm giving you a little bit too much information. You guys should probably find out more about that by yourself. But nonetheless, I am going to go ahead and jump into it. So I guess we can go ahead and we can search up Seattle right here. It should be able to pop up. We might have a couple others, or maybe this one's the only one. The other ones might have gotten picked up. Okay, yeah, so this is the only one in Seattle available, but let's just take a quick look at it, right? So at first glance, it looks like a pretty great deal. It's $3,700 in rent per month. It's projected to bring in over $100,000 per year. Something important to note is that the owner wants first and last month's rent plus $1,000 deposit, which the deposit is fairly low. Usually owners are going to want, if it is a single family home or it's being rented out by the owner or management company, not apartment buildings most of the time, but mostly with like single family or individual owners renting out their properties, they're going to want 1 month's rent worth of deposit. But in this case, the owner only wants $1,000. Also, renter is responsible for electricity and internet. All other utilities will be included. So that means water, sewer, trash, whatever else besides electricity and internet will be included in your rent. It's also in the heart of downtown, walking distance to Amazon and Meta, which is pretty cool. Obviously, location, 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 and this has that. So it's an apartment. It's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. It's available as of January 1st, which is the beginning of this month. And then this is the property ID. It's Seattle 2414. As you can see, more information about the deposit, our acquisition fee, information about the parking, if there's a permit needed, which is no, because this property is already permitted. So that means the owner has already gotten the permit. So a little bit of backstory on this property. This was a short-term rental right around the time of the pandemic. The owner was renting it out to an arbitrage operator that was doing really well with the property. It seemed like it was making money, but when the pandemic hit, especially with Washington being super strict with the guidelines, they ended up just getting out of the deal and moving on. And from my understanding, the owner hasn't rented to any type of arbitrage tenant since. And an important thing to note is it's unfurnished. So if it's unfurnished, more than likely there hasn't been an arbitrage tenant in it since. But that's the reason why they still have the permit, is because they already got it from the city and it is fully ready to go. Since it is an apartment, it's in an apartment building, and this specific apartment building has a swimming pool. So there's certain amenities. I also think it has a gym. It does have an HOA, but the HOA is fine with short-term rentals, as I'm sure you can tell because it's already permitted. It also has a washer and dryer included, and there's another amenity, which is a hot tub. We all love that. Okay, so, if we just go down to the arbitrage calculator and we do like first glance, first look, right, $3,700 per month, yearly projections of $102,000 with a little buffer of 15%, because again, some of your utilities are included, so this might actually be accurate. But we put a 15% buffer. You could always up it to 20% if you think the expenses are going to be more, maybe 25%. And it'll show you how much the projected profit is. If everything's included, if furniture was included, or insurance, utilities, which most of the time utilities and insurance aren't included. Maybe a couple utilities like water might be included, but most of the time there's not everything unless it's fully turnkey, but then again, you'd have to really double check those numbers. But usually we'll do a buffer of about 15%. So with a buffer of 15%, it's showing around $4,000 a month in profit. Now, let's not get too excited here. We don't want to get too excited about any specific deal. You're probably wondering, well, then how did you get these numbers? How did you get these yearly projections? Well, let me show you. If you scroll on through these photos, you can take a look at the property. And I know these are such horrible quality. We literally pulled these directly from the property, so just bear with me here. So it shows you it has a swimming pool. It shows you it has a gym, so that's good to know. We love that. We love that. And then this is a little bit of the unit. So it looks like it has a nice little outside city view. You can obviously see that it's in downtown, which is nice. And then the last photo, which is almost every single listing here, the last photo is always going to be the projections. So with this, it's a 2-bed, 1.5 bath with 4 guests at that location. It's $102,000, 80% occupancy with the average daily rate of $349. That is where we get our numbers from, AirDNA. Now, anybody who's been in short-term rentals, anybody who understands projections knows that AirDNA can be hit or miss. Some of the data isn't always the best. It's not always accurate. So what do you have to do? You have to run additional comps. And what do people always ask us? Well, can I have the address so I can run the comps? Absolutely you can. But as you know, this is how our process works. But I'm not the one to just be like, give me all your money and then we'll give you the address. That's not how we're trying to go about it. What we're trying to tell people all the time, because we are not a course, we are not your guru, we are not a mastermind, nothing like that. We are simply a service. We're kind of facilitating that connection, and we want to help you be successful. We want you to be as successful as possible. But again, we are not the course creators here. We're not the ones holding your hand. So you have to be able to go and run your own comps and confirm if this is the deal that you want to move forward with. Because when you do move forward, once we facilitate that connection, at that point, you're able to connect with the owner. You can see the full address, so you can run more in-depth comps. You also are able to negotiate terms. You can tour, all those things, right? But before you do that, you don't have to get the address. You can run comps without an address. And I'm going to show you how to do that to at least get a better idea on if it's even a deal that you want to pursue, if you actually think these numbers are accurate. So we're going to jump into it. So let's go ahead, and on the website, you can also see that there's a map icon. So there's one down here, which you can obviously zoom in on, get a better idea. It's over there near, it's usually like right in the middle, so it's near Belltown, but you can obviously see a bigger one here. This is a 3-mile radius, guys, 3 miles. Okay, so if we zoom in, which I'm sorry that this arrow is totally in our way. Jeez Louise. Okay, so usually it's like right here in the middle. So it looks like it's by the Space Needle. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go into Airbnb. Now we can't go on AirDNA. We can do that. But I'm going to show you how to run comps without an address just on Airbnb. So let's go ahead and search up Seattle, Washington. And we will not do dates. Don't add dates. You can add the guest count. So it's a 2-bedroom. You can put 4 guests, or if you want to push it to 6, you absolutely can. But let's just do 4 for the sake of this video. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in as close as possible to this address or to this area. Okay. So as you can see, Belltown. Okay. We're trying to stick around Belltown. Come on, bro. Okay. Okay, I think that this is good. We can zoom in more. Obviously, there is a ton of properties here, so we want to look for 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, 2 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. We can obviously add amenities like Wi-Fi, air conditioning, heating, TV. This has a hot tub, washer, dryer, pool. Let's see. Okay, we're only getting 41, so let's stick with this. Okay, and it looks like a lot of them are right here, but we want to keep it still close to like the needle. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it. We're looking for 2 bedrooms, okay? 2-bedroom properties with, usually what we're looking for is decently high ratings, like 4.5 and up, which 4.5 is also pretty low. So let's just go 4.8 and up, maybe 4.75, and at least 20 reviews. Ideally 20 reviews or more, okay? Because then usually the data is more accurate, because if they only have 1 review, well, how long have they actually been listed on Airbnb? Have they only been listed on there for a month, but their ADR is like $500 a night? Well, that's not very accurate because they've only had 1 review. How long have they actually been on Airbnb? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So if we're looking here at 2 bedrooms, a lot of these are 2 bedrooms, which is great. So there's a good amount of 2 bedrooms here that we can kind of go off of. So let's just kind of go through some of them. I'm gonna, this one only has 18 reviews, but this one over here has $269. Let's just get an idea of what the actual unit looks like. We want it to be as similar as possible to our unit. Okay, I know it's really easy to be like, oh, this one looks great. It has great numbers, but it looks nothing like the unit. So it's like, this property might be doing really well opposed to this one that you're considering. It doesn't have the same design. It doesn't have the same interior. It may not generate as much, but this one's nice. So let's go ahead and jump into this one. Let's see what their ADR is. So it looks like it's like pretty much booked. Like, look at this. It even is booked through like June. I mean, it's getting booked, right? So obviously one of the strategies you could use is always chart, because look, they have a bunch of like spotty days, and I feel like these are going to get booked because look at January and February is almost all booked. So obviously this unit is doing pretty well, right? But it looks like their average daily rate is around maybe $220. But if you go, let's go to their weekend rate. Okay, so $787. So that's probably closer to $300 to $350. Again, these are like rare finds. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So we're going to note that, right? So it's like anywhere from $220 to $350. Now, again, this is just kind of skimming. Now, obviously you can go in more depth, and you can go and you can put it all in a spreadsheet, and you can have all of your numbers like listed out. But when you're looking at a bunch of deals and you do that with every single deal, it's just very time consuming. So this is a way that you can kind of skim through everything and get a better idea. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. So this one is 4.75. Let's look at okay, so this one looks pretty similar. So this one's a 2-bedroom. Okay, so let's see. So they're open for a decent amount of dates. Okay, so if we just do the weekend, they're charging about $431. It used to be $731. Now they're charging $431. Let's see what it would be in February. Oh, wait, that's Valentine's Day. That might be a little skewed. Hold on. Let's do the 21st through the 23rd. Okay, so $660. So that's a little bit more on par with what we just saw. But if we go to a regular weekday, it's about $409. Now, mind you, what we just saw with this one, and this is a little different. They have more leverage in regards to like how much they can charge because of the dates that they have are already pretty much booked. But this isn't that far off. Like, although this one has less stars and less reviews, they still are charging like somewhat similar to the same amount. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This one is also a 2-bed. These ones also have nice views, so let's go to the one that doesn't have as nice of views. This one's also 2 bedrooms. It also has white appliances. Okay, that's a little bit similar to what we saw. So if we go here, okay, so if we go to the weekdays, a couple days, okay, $593. Then let's do Friday through Sunday, $622. Okay. Now, mind you, I'm just looking at like recent dates, right? I'm looking at recent dates, but if you look further out, more than likely it's going to be a little bit more expensive unless they're not using like a pricing strategy, right? Oh, this one has 3-night minimum. Okay, so obviously it's a little bit more. So this literally looks to be very similar to what we are seeing. Now, if we go to this one even has, let's stay away from that one. That's oh wait, just kidding. Okay, this one, I think this is hosted by the same person. Let's do one that's different than the same. It looks like they might have a few. Okay, so this one is a little bit nicer too, actually, sorry. Okay, let's see this one. There's also 2 beds. So a lot of these are 2 beds, which is great. I mean, it seems like there's a decent amount of 2 beds in this market, but that doesn't mean that it's saturated. It just might mean that there's a lot of need for it. So if we do 2-night minimum with a checkout on Sunday, about $491, which is kind of low. And then if we do, okay, $431. So it's actually kind of similar on days where it's not the weekend and the weekday. Okay, now one of the other places that you can look, I'm actually going to log out of our paid account and I'm going to log into a free account that I have. That way you guys can also see if you do have a free account. You don't have to necessarily pay for it. But let's go ahead and... Okay, so again, we're going and we're looking in... Oh, perfect. Let's go ahead and look in Seattle. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Belltown. Okay, well, regardless of if you're a member or if you're a paid member or not, I'm showing you as if you were free, because if you don't want to pay monthly for AirDNA, I'm just showing you as if you were a free member. These are the important things to look at. Number of reviews, obviously the rating that they have, and then the average daily rate. Okay, usually if they have over 20 reviews, they've probably been around for around a year, which is good because then it's actually going to give you some decently accurate data. And then also the average daily rate. So if we go and we look, again, we're going to look for two bedrooms, okay? Let's see. That's a 1. Okay. Oh, I think we found a couple that we've seen. Okay. So this one is 4.9 stars, 117 reviews, 2 bedroom, and an average daily rate of 327. So let's go ahead and lock that in. 327. Okay. Let's do 5 that are in this area that have 2 bedrooms, have a similar look, at least 4.8 stars or up, and over 20 reviews. Okay. Let's just look at that real quick. Okay, 2 bedrooms, 4.8, 570 reviews, 365 average daily rate. Boom. Okay, again, we're just looking in the area. I think we already saw that one. Okay, this is a 2-1, 19. Okay, I mean, it's so close. We'll count it. Okay, 387. No, not enough. No. Okay, this is the one that had a view. I think we saw this one, but okay. 24 reviews, 5 stars, 2 bedrooms, 291 daily rate. We'll go with the lower one. We'll just see how it all pans out. Okay, so we have 4 so far. Let's do a 5th. Okay, 2-1, 147 reviews, 4.8 stars, 286, another low one, or somewhat low one, I guess, from what we saw on AirDNA on the projections. There's a 1-1. 1. I think we already chose that one, did we not? I should have went left to right. Sorry, guys. Okay, this is a 2-2. Oh, that's 4.3 stars. We don't want that. You don't want to be a 4.3 star property. Right, guys? Okay, 2-1, 145, 4.8, 303. So we have a good mix, okay? It's anywhere from about 290 up to high 3s, okay? So that was 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, just kidding. Sorry. We analyzed 6 properties. Divided by 6. Okay, so the average daily rate is 326. So if we go back to our listing here, 349, 326. I mean, overall, guys, this seems accurate. This does seem accurate to me from what I'm seeing. And if you ask me, this is a good deal. This is a great deal. I mean, I don't even see anything going for less than $250, literally. So if I was anybody, I would definitely go forward with this property. Obviously, you can furnish it how you'd like. You can spruce it up. These are just old photos. It has amenities. It's in a great location. The occupancy is super high, and you can potentially fit more people in there. And the owner only wants $1,000 deposit. Come on now. And they're including all other utilities besides electric and internet. Like, come on, you guys. And it's already permitted. In a difficult market, this is a steal. This is a win. Spoiler alert, it's already taken. But I just wanted to show you guys, because this is a property that came in and I feel like not enough people jumped on it because maybe they thought it was too good to be true. Maybe they didn't analyze it enough. I have no idea. But this, I mean, it is already taken, so it really doesn't matter. But this is a property that I would definitely recommend to a client. I would be like, yeah, absolutely. Because the thing is, we do have a lot of properties on our site, and we're only adding properties where the owners have said yes, where we've double checked the regulations to make sure it's eligible for a permit, or if it's in a difficult market, it's able to get a permit, or it's already permitted. FYI, Seattle. Another thing is we run the numbers. So the yearly projections, if they come back from AirDNA, regardless of if you think AirDNA can be hit or miss, if it comes back and it shows that it's going to turn a profit, we are going to add it. Although AirDNA can be hit or miss, that is why we tell people, even if it looks like a great deal, like the one that I just showed you in Seattle, always double check. Always run your numbers. Look, I didn't even have the address. I didn't even have the zip code. And I was able to look at those numbers. And I found a lot of properties that are very similar, probably in the same building, to be honest. But overall, I was able to run the numbers. That's what matters, is being able to run the numbers on these properties and get at least an idea before you move forward. And then once you move forward, you can determine, okay, yes, I want this deal, or no, I'm going to transfer everything over to a different dealer. I'm going to pursue a different property instead. That's why we have all these properties available, so people can have backups in the event that something doesn't work out, or they don't like the property, or they don't like the owner. Whatever the case may be, anything can happen. There's a ton of different scenarios that could take place, as I'm sure a lot of you Airbnb operators and investors know. When you're dealing with people, when you're dealing with the city, when you're dealing with guests, when you're dealing with landlords, all of it matters. All of it plays a part. But let's say you see a deal like this is a property in San Diego. It's in a perfect location in North Park. The rent is $31.50, which, mind you, San Diego is a costly city. So I'm not surprised at this number right here. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, but in a phenomenal location, and it's projected to bring in less than $60,000 a year. So if you put that 15% buffer, it's projected to bring in over $1,000 a month in profit, which again, I'm not really mad at. But if you were to design this well, if you were to, I mean, it's obviously modern. They renovated it, so it looks good. It's in a great location. It definitely could be a winner. And it has amenities in the back like putt-putt, and it also, I think it has a barbecue grill and a hammock, as well as an orange tree. But those are just things to pay attention to, right? So if you see a deal like this, oh, only $1,000 profit per month, like, guys, come on. If you believe in your business, if you believe in the uniqueness that you can bring to a property and the design that you can bring, especially if it's in a great market where you can get a permit, where, by the way, San Diego is running out of their tier 3 permits. If you aren't familiar with their regulations, you should go look, because if there's any time to get a property in San Diego, it is before they run out of eligible permits, because after that, it's going to be a lottery system. So even if this property, oh, I really want it to bring in $2,000 a month, well, get creative. Connect with the owner. See if we can work out a lower rent price. See if you can lock it in for 3+ years at the same rent price. Like, get creative, guys. This is part of the business. It's a creative type of industry. Airbnb is very creative. People get creative with deals, properties, furnishings all the time. So that is your opportunity with these deals. Again, I hope this helped. You can find projections. You can get more realistic comps without even having the address, without even having the zip code, by just having a general area of where the property is, knowing the bed count, knowing what the property looks like, being able to look into the numbers of accurate deals that are already listed, that have been on the market, that have reviews, that have good ratings. And if they align with the projections that AirDNA is showing you, then heck yeah, go for it. Pull the trigger. So hopefully this helped, guys. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm so excited to help you find your next deal. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, if you are interested in learning more about our company, our platform, you can register for free as a standard user at LoCasa.com. And as always, thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.